Hello there. Thanks so much for joining me. This is going to be a nice just handstand drills. So this isn't necessarily going to be a flow, but I have a lot of followers that are in the middle of learning to handstand. So if you're trying to arm balance, handstand, headstand, this will be very useful for you. To be successful in handstanding, we need three basic things. We need strength, we need flexibility, but we also need balance. And I guess there's actually a fourth thing. It's called consistency. To get a handstand, you're going to have to show up every day. I'm going to try to make this video as short as possible, but even if you only do a couple of these drills every day, I promise you that you will get there with time. Obviously, the more effort we put in, the faster the results will be. We're going to start this one in all fours. You will need 2 blocks. If you don't have 2 blocks, don't worry. It's not going to make or break this practice. However, this will help level us up to an area if we can't get all the way down to it. It'll make more sense in a little while. But we're just going to start in all fours. And once you get here, we're just going to warm up the wrists. The wrists are very important. So we're going to start by spreading the fingers really wide on the mat. And then we're going to grip the mat. This is very important to balance on our hands, is to form a good grip. Without this grip, we cannot maintain balance. Once you have your grip here, we're going to rock forwards and backwards just a few times. When we rock forwards, we almost want the palm to lift off. And since the hands are active, it should feel good to do this. It shouldn't be any pressure. It should feel really nice. Now we're going to take the fingers and point them towards the outer edges of the mat. Find that grip again. It's going to be a little more challenging. And then just rock left to right, maintaining the grip of the mat. Like little spider hands. Beautiful. Go and point the fingers towards you. Probably not going to be able to grip, but I want you to try to grip here and then send the hips back and forward. So the palms are definitely going to lift off here. And this is a good stretch if you don't have any opening in the wrist and you can't get your hand flat on the mat whenever you're trying to do your handstand. So this will help open up that wrist and that forearm space. And let's go and sit back on those heels. You don't have to have them tucked. It's up to you. And let's just take a roll one way and the other way. And let's go and take some shoulder circles to warm the shoulders up. So big circles going one way. And let's reverse that circle. Beautiful. Coming back into our all fours. So one of the things that we use a lot is the push through the shoulders. So as you see right here, I have a neutral spine. I'm not pushing through my shoulders. When I shrug them up, I lift. It's not a huge lift, maybe 2 or 3 inches, but my shoulders feel this. So we're just going to do these shrugs a few times. We're not bending through the elbows. We're literally just pushing through the shoulders. We call it a shoulder extension. And to be in a successful handstand, you're going to have to be able to extend the shoulders for long periods of time. So once you push up, let's hold it in this extended position. We'll do 10, 9, 8, push, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. You can sit back in our kneeling position, maybe roll those wrists out. We're going to do that again, but this time we're going to do it in a supported plank. And we're going to work our way to being able to do that at the wall. Just talking shoulder extension here. So come back forwards, walk the knees back a little bit so that we're in a supported plank position. Upper body is forward, shoulders are over the wrists. And let's shrug. You're not going to notice as much of a change here, but you should notice when you dump all the way down, you can get quite a lift. We don't want to dump all the way down though, because that's not good for our shoulders. And this might make a little more sense for the followers of the channel when I'm talking about dumping. We want this extension. We want this push when we're here. I'll just do this for 5 more seconds. Beautiful. Go ahead and come back. Roll those wrists out. If mine are feeling it, yours are feeling it too. All right, next we're going to try it in plank. If you don't like plank, then do supported plank. We're working up through levels here. So just stopping where you are, but continuing to do the drills. So if you want, you can come into plank, making sure the shoulders are over our wrists here. Tailbone is tucked. It's going to help if the gaze is slightly forward. And let's shrug. Beautiful job. You can come back into that kneeling seat. Yep, the wrist. That's just the most simple thing I know, to get the wrist back to like, okay, we can do a little bit more. Now, the next way to do the shoulder shrugs is against the wall. If you're not comfortable getting into a handstand against the wall, just come back to whichever drill suits you. Otherwise, those of you that like to kick up against the wall, we're going to all meet there. Now, legs are straight up, booty is pulled in, and let's shrug. Beautiful job. Coming back down. Now this time we're going to come into our puppy pose. So walking these knees back, taking the arms forward and allowing the heart to come towards the mat here. We're going to keep our gaze forward. This is going to get a deeper stretch in the shoulders. And coming back to the breath. We'll take one more round of breath here. And slowly we'll peel back to our kneeling position. So this is where the blocks are going to come into play. Now, if you've been on my channel, you know dolphin push-ups. And that's kind of what we're going to go for. If you can do dolphin push-ups, you don't need the blocks. You can actually just go ahead and get into the dolphin and start doing your push-ups. However, if you are like, dolphin push-ups and me are not friends, this is another option. We're going to come into a shortened down dog. Okay? So as you see, I'm in a very, very short down dog. I am pushing through my shoulders here, okay? I'm not dumping. We're going to come forward, nose to blocks, and back up. And again, back up. Do this a few times. Now, if you're like, okay, yep, that's easy, remove a block. If you're like, nope, I'm going to keep the block, keep the block. Everyone's at a different level. So as you see, my body has stayed the same, just removed a block and down. All right. And now, if you do dolphin push-ups, this is going to challenge you because we are coming really far down, because normally in a dolphin push-up, we're on our forearms. But we're not on our forearms right now. We've got quite a few more inches to travel. We're just going to try to get the nose towards the mat as close as we can. And back up. So these are a really kind of awkward form of a push-up, but they're using your upper body strength. You see, I can't get my nose all the way down. It's just not going to happen. And that's okay. Whew. All right. Coming back onto this knees. Rolling the wrist out because it's important. The wrists are what keeps us up there. They're important. We need to show them love. If you find another way that works for you better, have at it. But like I said, this is just the one that works for me. There's tons of ways to do this though. Okay, so I'm going to show a dolphin push-up because I didn't show it, and I do think that they are just as important. So we can come in onto our forearms, send the hips up and back, walking the feet in as far as they'll come. Gaze is forward, and we're trying to bring that nose in between the thumbs. Okay, so just do a few of these, playing with where you are. Whew. And when you feel that, because I'm feeling that, I know you're feeling that, we're going to start for some hamstrings. So once again, flexibility matters, and it's not just in the shoulders. So we're going to come to a standing position. Hands on your hips. And we're just going to start by kicking that right leg up, walking forward. Left leg up, forward. Right, left, right. Probably going to turn around unless you got a big room. Left, right, left, right, left, right, and one more to get that side equal for the left. Beautiful. Second best stretch, half splits. So we'll come into a lunge on the right side. Finding our positioning here, and then we'll push back, digging that right heel into the mat, ensuring our hips are square here by pulling that right hip back and breathing. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. Beautiful. Rolling back forwards, and then bring in the left foot forwards to a lunge, and then pushing it back, half splits. Same things on this side, digging that left heel in, making sure this left hip is pulled back, squaring with the right. It will deepen that stretch in that left hamstring, which is what we're going for. 5 breaths. Very beautiful job. Coming back out. Next up is bunny hops. So this is an actual drill, not using the wall, trying to get the hips over the shoulders. Okay, that's when it gets scary for people. So by doing a bunny hop, we're basically pulling the knees into the body while in an inverted position. We're just going to give it a go a few times. So we're going to come into a short down dog here. Go ahead and prop yourself up onto your toes. Find that buoyancy through the toes. And then when it feels good, we're just going to try to kick the heels into the booty here. Okay, we don't have to get those hips over the shoulders. It's just a general direction. Real focus is the building of the strength here. So push through the shoulders, onto the toes, hop. Push through the shoulders, onto the toes, hop. Maybe finding some float time. Maybe not. It's okay. A few more times here. Remembering consistency is the winner of the game. Whew. Okay. That one's harder on your legs than it is on your shoulders sometimes. Okay. Next one is our switching of the legs. So we're going to pop up with the right leg, but then we're going to land on the left. And then the opposite, pop up on the left, land on the right. I'll show you. So we've got this right leg down onto the tiptoes, left leg's up, look forward, switch. Okay? Just like that. Let's just do this a few times. One more thing I want to mention here while you're playing is that if your hands are here, your gaze, right, is like right here. So if you can bring your thumbs together, your gaze is right there. Okay? Might help. Do a few more of these reverses. Whew. Let's go ahead and come back into the puppy pose. This time you want to bring the blocks. I can show you something different. Hands to the blocks. Chest towards the mat. I'll just take a few rounds of breath here. Now, if you want to try something, we can inhale that shrug, heavy push, kind of a rounding. Exhale, comes back down. Inhale, rounds. Exhale, comes back down. This just really works into the flexibility and the strength here. Beautiful. So next we're going to play with the float. We got two different float drills. I'm trying to decide which one I want to do first. So I think we're going to do the one here on the mat first. So we're going to come into a forward fold. But we're going to face the opposite way because we're going to walk. Or we're going to float. We're not going to walk. We're going to float, you guys. Okay, hands are on the mat. Now this is where hamstring flexibility does kind of play a role in this whole thing. If your knees are bent, that's fine. Main things is your hands are on this mat firmly rooted. You are gripping the mat. Okay? Matter if your legs are bent or not, we're going to come up onto those tiptoes. Shift the upper body forward. All the weight is in your hands. And we're going to try to float these feet towards the wrists. Okay? See that? Do it again for you. On the toes. Push that forward. Float to the feet. Okay? Towards the wrist. And again, up on the toes. Push the body forward. And float. These help more than just about any drill other than hanging out on the wall. Hanging out on the wall is still the best drill. Now, once you make it all the way to the other side of the mat, we're not done. We're going to turn around and do it again. Breathing deep into that belly. Beautiful. Beautiful job. If you've not made it to the top of the mat, don't worry, we're not rushing you. I am going to move these blocks out of my way. So next we're going to play with the float. I'm going to use this wall. So if you have a wall, you can use a wall. If you have a half wall, you can use a half wall or a high chair. You just want to make sure that it's not going to move away from you, okay? Okay. So in my other handstand video, we did this. So we're going to put that foot out. So our distance is here, right? Hands down. One foot up. And then the other foot. What I want you to do here is push yourself so hard that that other leg that's touching the wall floats away. But keeping it within touching distance so that you feel safe. But maybe just playing with pulling it away and playing with that balance. Just seeing what it feels like to float. But knowing the wall has got your back. And maybe trying the other foot, seeing which one you're more comfortable pulling away. Continuing to breathe. We're not holding or clenching the breath here. Pushing through the shoulders. And slowly, we can come down. Let's take those wrist circles here. Mine feel tight after that one. All right. Now we're just going to try for a few freestanding kick-ups. We're just playing, okay? We're just here to have a good time on our mat. Don't get too caught up in the thoughts. The thoughts are of major importance when it comes to hand balancing. We have to get out of our heads. If we're having a hard day, balancing's probably not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? We're just too much in the head. The head's got a lot to do with this. Okay. A lot of teachers will teach you to use both legs and to kick with opposite legs, but in my journey, I have found that I have become comfortable kicking with my right leg. That's just me. If you feel like having equals, then kick with opposite legs. Otherwise, I'm going to challenge you to find the one that feels the best and try to do that. And then when you master that, then you can start playing with the other leg. Okay, let's go. So, once again, push through the shoulders, up on that tiptoe. Send that left leg or right leg up into the air and kick. And again. And again. And again. Whoop, oh, oh. We should talk about falling out. I think I did on my other video, but let's talk about it again. Some people are comfortable going into a back bend. I'm not comfortable falling into a back bend. So I exit by pulling. So whenever I feel like I'm going to fall, I literally will tilt my body to one way or the other by picking up my left or my right hand slightly, just enough to throw the balance off towards that way, right? And it'll send you off. I don't want you crumbling. I don't want you falling. I don't want you getting hurt, okay? I don't want you getting hurt. Safety is the exit strategy. All right, we'll just do one more. wherever you are, hopefully getting just a second of hang time. And if not, that's okay. Just playing. Wrist circles. Whew. We're going to do one more puppy because this is the best shoulder stretch ever. If you want to use the blocks again, go ahead and grab them. We'll come here for 5 rounds of breath. Rolling up or staying. Oh, thank you. I hope that you find this helpful. Please do leave me a comment if you've been working on a handstand or any arm balances for that matter. This would be beneficial for all arm balancing, all handstands, all headstands, pincha, all those fun things that we love to do. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you back on the mat.